Thank you for joining us here at Seafried and Brew for our weekly briefing. I am Jamie Sumner, Chief Analyst, and for this week's briefing, we just want to review over the unemployment report that came out last week. Overall, we had a fairly positive report. They still have some noise in this report from the hurricanes occurring in late August and early September, but overall, we see the unemployment rate falling, continuing this trend from a 4.2 down to a 4.1, so pulling off about 0.1%. The participation rate also coming down. It went from a 63.1 down to a 62.7, so we had a little detraction from that number. Again, there's still some noise in this report from the hurricanes. When we look at the overall civilian labor force, you can see we did have this drop down. There's about 765,000 individuals that left the labor force, and that could be due to any number of reasons. A lot of this could be the result of retirement in here. You can see it's not uncommon. We have these time periods where we do drop down. So that's just one thing that contributed to that lower overall unemployment rate. When we look at the official number, we saw down. When we look at the U6, and that's the all-encompassing, the total people say unemployment rate, we did have some positive change there. It went from a 8.3 down to a 7.9, so we had a big fall in this number, and now we're very close to historic means when we look at the spread between the U3 and the U6. So we're continuing down this path of reversion to mean, which is what we expect to happen, and this potentially could result, we don't know, but it could result in maybe some wage inflation as we move forward in here. But we really haven't seen that just yet. We created 261,000 jobs last month. That's a big positive. And we had September's number revised. If you recall, originally it came out down here at negative 33,000. Now we're at positive 18,000. So we created jobs in September, and then we had that 261,000 jobs in October. Still, even though it's a pretty high number, it was below estimates. We were up over 300,000 in estimates. So we still have some pullback in there, but there is still some noise inside of here because of the hurricanes. When we look at the type of jobs that have been produced, not surprising, we have this leisure and hospitality down here, adding 106,000 jobs. If we recall, in September, that was one of the items that really got hit, and that's because those are the jobs that tend to go away in those areas that were affected by hurricanes. So we had now those jobs coming back. We continue to add in healthcare and social assistance, adding that 33,000 jobs in there. And then we had professional business services increasing as well by 50,000 jobs. So overall, we see a good displacement of these different categories. But still, we have that strong one in continuing to create jobs in that healthcare area. As far as wages are concerned, we see in here that the overall level of average hourly earnings actually declined slightly from $26.54 to $26.53. So just a penny coming down. And then we see, if we look year over year, we're up about 2.5% on the average hourly earnings. So still running below that 3% mark that would indicate maybe a little higher wage inflation. So we really haven't seen that wage inflation come back just yet. So that's what we have for you this week. A jobs report, kind of positive, a little under expectations when we look at the number of jobs created, but overall kind of keys us up for November. And as far as November is, we should have a lot of that noise from the hurricanes earlier in the fall. We should have that noise kind of work through and get some really interesting and maybe more relevant numbers in here. We hope to see you back here next week. Have a great week, everyone.